Alright, good morning guys. It's 5:23, 25.4 degrees on day 22, which is April 24th, and I'm waking up at TLC Ranch. Alright, good morning folks. It's 6:30 a.m., 22.2 degrees. Pretty brisk morning. Leaving the TLC Ranch, as it were. It's whatever it was, about 16 miles outside of Pie Town to the trail north. And I guess it's a family that had this old homestead property with a porch. And since it's directly on the CDT, they decided to open it up. So they put out water and stuff, just big, like 5-gallon, sort of like sports sideline water cooler type things, like the sort you dump on a coach at the end of a winning game or something. Put out 2 of those of water and a little table, some chairs. Let the hikers stay. So that's great. They even built an outhouse out there. So quite to my astonishment, this might be TMI, but this is the 4th morning in a row that I've been able to sit on a seat instead of digging a cat hole in the morning, so that's very exciting. So it was T.O.'s Public Corrals, that was Davila, that was Pie Town at the Toaster House, and then this morning just here at TLC Ranch, so that's pretty fun. I didn't expect that, to ever be a thing 4 days without digging a cat hole in the CDT, but there you have it. Yeah, well, today, oh man, it's a cold morning for sure. As I said, 22.2 degrees. I didn't hear any signs of life out of the other tents. But back there was a half-mile, 700 Scout, Topper, Greg, and Midnight Chocolate. I didn't hear any more snoring, so I think people were awake, just trying to rationalize some of the decisions they've made with respect to long-distance hiking. Sometimes it takes a little bit of convincing on cold mornings, but, quickest way to warm up is to pack up and get moving, so that's what I'm doing. Supposed to be about 12 miles to a turn off of this country road onto another country road, and then about another 11, 12, 13 miles after that for camp, so 23 to 25 miles up all day. Not sure if there'll be much shooting today either, because, actually those mountains look pretty cool back there. But there's just really not much to see, so, just kind of be headphones in, brain off, and march towards Canada. So, anyways, it's a cold morning, and I've got to warm up, so I'll check in with you guys a little later. Alright guys, I only just turned off from that morning check-in, but one thing I wanted to mention, as you've gleaned by now, no doubt, I only just yesterday, day before, something like that, just got service back on my phone after over a week, and I know that this video won't come out for yet another long ways, but it is, as I said, April 24th, and just yesterday I got word that several of you were kind enough to buy me a coffee at the link in the description of all these videos. So I don't typically like to promote that you can donate to me and my hike in this channel, but there are links in the descriptions below to all these videos, and while it's not necessarily something that I'm promoting, it is definitely something that I want to give some special shout outs to Russell and Connor, to Tana and Margaret of Good Wolf Gear back in Reston, Virginia, and to Grandma Mary, of course, who was also kind enough to follow me along on my AT hike last year. So to those 4 folks, thank you very much. I am definitely looking forward to dedicating a cup of coffee or a beer in your honor once I get to grants or points beyond. So just definitely wanted to give a big shout out of appreciation. So anyways, with that, it's still 22.2 degrees and I gotta march on, so wish I had that cup of coffee now. All right, guys, it is 8:42 a.m. and 43 degrees even. I've been at it just about 2 hours. I'm about 7 miles into the day, almost exactly 7 miles into the day. And I've been watching something as we've been traveling just about due north. There's a very prominent mountain off on the horizon. And I've been checking my maps, double, triple checking my maps. And at this point, I'm pretty certain that mountain right there, the highest one way back on the horizon, is Mount Taylor. So Mount Taylor is 11,307 feet high. It's sitting almost exactly 50 miles away from at a heading of 26 degrees north. And Mount Taylor is going to be far and away the highest mountain that I've been up so far, should I decide to take an alternate, which would lead up to the summit. It's also known as Mount Sudzil. It's a sacred Navajo ground, and so it's definitely a kind of place to be pretty sensitive with while I'm up there. Obviously, I'm always careful not to try and leave trash or make a mess or anything like that. I'm a big leave no trace guy, but all the more so when it's really sacred land for a lot of folks back through history. So anyways, Mount Taylor, 50 miles away. Do plan on zeroing in grants, as I think I've mentioned before. So you know, good Lord willing, should be up to the summit of Mount Taylor in 4 days, I think, 4 maybe 5 days, I don't really know. But yeah, Mount Taylor, pretty cool to see it way back on the horizon. And at 11,307 feet or so, it's going to be just about, what, 4,000 feet higher or so than I am right now. So yeah, we'll make our way there. It is on the north side of Grants. Should be there in a few days. I'm excited about it.
I should let go.
All right, guys, 9:30, 48.9 degrees. There's this little bird who's been hiking with me for almost a mile now. You might see him off on that fence post. I'll get close, and then he'll fly. Every now and then he does a little swoop down to the ground, usually just to pick up some food. And then he goes about 10 or so fence posts down. He's my little hiking partner this morning. Really happy to have him along with me on this trail. I'd like to take him all the way to Canada, but we'll see how far he goes. All right, guys, 12:03 and 58 degrees even. Just made it to this pretty neat spot that Far Out calls Old House. It's also identified on Lay maps, on Jonathan Lay's CDT maps, as originally constructed in the 1200s, which I'm not buying that. That doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. That doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me. Maybe it said it built in the 1200s and added to in the 1400s. That seems wicked old. And then what looks very much comparable to like some early 20th century homestead structure up here. But I'm going for a bit of a wander. I've dropped my backpack at the house, at this old house. And I'm going for a bit of a wander because there's also all sorts of notes of petroglyphs inscribed on some of these old boulders. So we'll go for a wander, see if we can't track something down. That's going to be pretty cool. I did stop, and unfortunately the video didn't record for whatever reason. Just back a little ways, there was some Anasazi ruins from the 12th century. Excuse me. And that was about a quarter mile off trail to the compass. Let's see, was it compass west sort of a little jackknife on the trail. I went over and enjoyed them. I thought I was recording a video, but apparently it did not record. So by the time I realized that, I was already like 2 or 3 miles away from where those Anasazi ruins are. And sorry guys, I made the decision not to turn around and backtrack for you, but we'll hope that this one comes out. It looks like there's a large boulder up ahead, which might be the surface upon which some very old cultures have inscribed some doodles. I heard that it was on a very large boulder, so that might be the one. Anyways, we'll go check it out. Yeah, so far the day's been pretty good. Definitely been hiking on my own all day. I was hiking behind Martin for quite some time, but it looks like Martin took a road walk, whereas I've decided to take the Savoia alternate. So I'm bearing into what on far out is denoted in a brown colored trail, and I believe this is the way that most of the rest of the folks with whom I was camping last night are going to be headed as well, but I am not super certain about that. Either way, it looks like Martin took the road walk, so I may or may not see him again tonight, but yeah, very neat. Anyways, I'm gonna have a snack and I will check in with you guys later. Alright folks, it is 3:47 and I don't like this temperature very much, but it's 66.6 degrees, which might actually be an appropriate temperature for this check-in. I am just leaving a mile marker that was alleged to have a very nicely running solar well, and I found no solar well at all, nicely running or otherwise. Nearby there was also a note on John Lay's CDT map about a reliable water source. So that was probably about a quarter mile trail east. So I kind of bushwhacked over trail east, found a whole lot of, I don't know, like some kind of big pile of boulders for some reason. I don't know, but no water source at all over there either. So what I'm guessing about Lay's water source is that whoever owns the land is maybe doing some kind of construction project, got rid of the well, and they're doing something else with that land. But solar well, who knows? I do have about a liter and a quarter of water, maybe a liter and a half of water. So I'm not in any imminent danger. And way off on the horizon, I can see cars kind of zipping by on a highway. So I'm in no, in no imminent danger of, bad water scarcity outcomes, but I am going to keep moving further than I had planned, because there is allegedly a windmill about 2 miles further down trail that may have water, so we'll see. I'm going to try and definitely ration the water I have for now until I figure out exactly where my next water source is, because I just don't like playing that no water at all gamble. Although, I do yet have one more emergency beer in my pack as well, so. So whatever, I guess I have about a liter and a half of water and 12 ounces of Pabst Blue Ribbon. But we'll see where this next water source is, and I'll check in over there. Just a quick thank you video. Sure. All right. Well, 4:07, I was just lamenting my lack of water and looking forward to a 2 mile hoof down to the windmill, and wouldn't you know it, the third car I've seen since breaking camp at whatever it was, I guess 6:30 this morning. These two lovely folks. What are your names again? I'm sorry.
Allison.
And Larry.
Allison and Larry from San Francisco area anyways.
Yeah, Alameda,
cool.
California.
Alameda, very cool, very cool. So they just saw me wandering aimlessly down this road towards Canada, and pulled over and offered me a whole ton of water. So I took, probably just about 5 liters from them. And
Right.
yeah, yeah, and they ran into some of the rest of the team as well. So some up ahead of me, taking a different route. Midnight Chocolate back behind me somewhere. And guys, thank you so much.
Take care.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Enjoy it.
Cool. All right, guys, 6:38, 56 degrees. I wound up not going all the way to the water tower. It's probably another mile or so down that way. And instead realized since running into Allison and Larry, thank you, Allison and Larry, that there was really no reason to push so much further than I had originally planned, as they gave me all the water I'll need, certainly to make it through the night and morning, and likely to make it through most of the day tomorrow. So I did already pitch up camp. There's my tent right here under this nice tree. Pitched up camp, had dinner, and then saw Midnight Chocolate making her way down trail. I guess she was also unable to find the solar well, which had been alleged on Far Out, and was similarly concerned about water availability for the night and the morning. So I kind of flagged her down, and she's pitched up next to me there. So it looks like I won't be camping alone tonight after all, which is nice. Not sure where the rest of the team got off to. Who in the world even knows? But I'm sure we'll run into them at some point. Tomorrow is going to be a less fun day. We're going to be on Highway 117 all day long. Basically we have, I don't know what, maybe 3 miles to get over there or something like that in the morning. And then it's just going to be Highway 117 all the way into Grants. So I don't think we'll make it to Grants tomorrow. I think it's 33 miles from where I'm sleeping tonight. But likely make it most of the way to Grants tomorrow, and then just kind of finish up 117 the day after. So should be able to roll into Grants early in the morning, which should be great. Always nice when you can kind of like have a real easy, quick little morning jaunt into town, and then take care of all your errands, especially ahead of a 0 day, which is what I'm planning in Grants still. So yeah, that's kind of looking ahead a little too far for now anyways. Today was definitely a fun day though. Getting to see those awesome Anasazi ruins from the 13th century, that was amazing. That little cabin was cool. Seeing some of the, I think, what are they called? Pictographs, or that's not the right word. Basically, oh gosh, I should have looked up that word before. I'm embarrassing myself now on a video, but those little like carvings in the rocks and stuff like that from the old native inhabitants of these lands. Really cool, really cool, and not the sort of thing I've seen before. So really cool to see it just kind of out there too, just out there on the hike rather than in a museum or whatever else. So I think that's about all I got. Yeah, huge shout out again to Larry and Allison for helping me out with 5 liters of water. Just kind of like fell right out of the sky like a couple of angels. Yeah, however many miles it was today, however many miles it'll be tomorrow, and we'll just kind of keep trucking. So I'm gonna turn in. Still 4 or 5 days behind on videos, but we'll get there. Don't worry about it, we'll get there. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.